we are breaking down all aspects of Yankee baseball. This is the Bronx Pinstripe Show with your hosts, Andrew Rotondi and Scott Reinen. Let's go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Bronx Pinstripe Show. We're recording shortly after the wild card game. The Yankees laid an absolute egg at Fenway Park. I'd say the only good thing from the night, Scott, was that Alex Rodriguez managed to work the phrase landing strip into the broadcast 3 separate times. That's the only thing that was good about it.
Landing strip. I didn't hear that. Landing strip. Landing strip. Mm-hmm. When you say landing strip, it actually sounds like landing strip. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to not say the shush in landing strip. So I'll give him that one. I didn't hear it
in the broadcast.
Okay. Well, did you drink? So clearly, you had a drinking game when Alex Rodriguez said landing strip.
I did not drink.
That was your beautiful night.
I did not drink, although I don't think I could say that about both of us.
No, I've been drinking. I had my buddies over, and so I have my friends that came over. 2 of them are Red Sox fans. I've been friends with them for many, many years since college. And the other guy that came over is a big Yankees fan from Syracuse, Brian Ackerman, who listens to the podcast, and was my freshman year roommate in college. So we've all loved each other and hated each other very much over the years. And today was not a good day. It wasn't good from the beginning. Garrett Cole came out, and dude, the thing that I was worried about the most was the control issues. And that is exactly what Garrett Cole showed us from the very first inning. He had control problems. He couldn't throw the ball over the plate. He couldn't do the things that he wanted to do. He could not control that strike zone. And it was a problem. And they teed off on him. That's what happened.
Yeah. I mean, everyone was expecting, not everyone, people who were expecting Cole to be lights out did not watch him pitch over the last month. Like, I think
if he's healthy, there's a big problem for a long time now.
I think we're probably going to get. I think we're going to get some news. Maybe we've already gotten it. I'm on Twitter, just checking all the.
It doesn't matter.
All the reporters. We're going to get
Who gives a shit?
We're going to get the probably that Garrett Cole's not 100% excuse at some point this week. Regardless, it does not excuse the performance. Lost my train of thought. But yeah, I mean, for anyone who thought that he was going to pitch 7 shutout innings, had not watched him pitch for a month. And so I didn't think he was going to be this bad. I didn't think he wasn't going to get out of the 3rd inning bad, but I knew it wasn't going to be lights out Garrett Cole. And you're saying if he's healthy, that's a bigger problem. Yeah, but we have seen him not be the same pitcher since sticky stuff was taken out of the game. Now, he's dominated in games, fine, yes, but he hasn't been consistently dominant since the sticky stuff ban. He's had games where he's gotten hit hard. He's allowed 7 home runs to the Red Sox at Fenway Park this season. 7. It's unacceptable for someone that they're paying $36 million to. He's supposed to be, you pay him $324 million, whatever the hell it is, to pitch 7 shutout innings at Fenway Park in a wild card game. You do not pay him to get hit out in the 3rd inning. Okay? This game is going to stick with him. It just is. It's going to stick with him his entire Yankees career. If they don't win a World Series, this is how people are going to remember Garrett Cole. Him mouthing to Aaron Boone. He stuffed Aaron Boone in a freaking box in Houston. Well, then Aaron Boone, I hope he's fired. I can't believe he's still not fired about 15 minutes after the game. Aaron Boone pulls him, and what is Gary? I'm out. He asks him, yeah, you're out, dude. It's a 1-game playoff, and you suck right now. Yes, you're out.
I mean, honestly, at that point, I'm giving Aaron Boone credit for him.
It was the right move. He shouldn't have let him face Devers.
I mean, I'm surprised that he did it. I'm surprised that he pulled him out of the game at that point, but it was the right move because he clearly
of course
had
it was.
Absolutely nothing.
And Clay Holmes was the best Yankee on the field tonight. People are going to say Giancarlo Stanton, maybe run out of the box in the 1st inning, Giancarlo Stanton. How do you not know you didn't hit that ball 500 feet? Okay, fine.
It was the camera angle.
Stanton got fooled by the camera?
Yeah.
Oh, right. He was watching on the big board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Like all of us. We all got
Clay Holmes,
we all got caught by that one.
Clay Holmes escapes the jam that Cole left him, gets a couple double play balls in his 2 innings of work, tried to keep the Yankees in the game. They couldn't do it, though. The 1 inning that they had an actual something going,
Andrew,
Phil Nevin ran them out of an inning.
You're talking about the pitching like it mattered. The Yankees bats didn't do jack shit. They did nothing. They did nothing against Nathan
you're right,
Eovaldi.
they did nothing.
Another time. Hold on. Another time against Nathan Eovaldi. Alex Cora took Nathan Eovaldi out with 71 pitches after a home run and a ground ball that was misjudged by the fielder.
Because Stanton was the tying run.
Fine. Nathan Eovaldi had 71 pitches. The fact that he took him out.
I was happy he was getting taken out.
Absolutely. It was a gift. It was a gift to the Yankees. It was a gift to the Yankees. They
almost did something with it.
Cora should have burned for that. The Yankees should have made Cora burn for that. And they couldn't do anything. When Eovaldi comes out with 71 pitches after giving up 1 home run and a ground ball, you gotta make Cora look fucking stupid for that. And they didn't do anything. They did nothing. They let the Boston bullpen come in. The Frank Marco lookalike, my head chin is to the side guy, Brazier, come in and dominate them. That's what they did. That they allowed the Boston bullpen to come in and dominate them. Yep. They knocked out Nathan Eovaldi with 71 pitches.
They didn't knock him out.
They knocked him effectively. They knocked him out because Alex Cora made the decision to pull him, which was crazy to me. And they got to the bullpen. They did what they needed to do at that point. They did nothing. The offense, again, another year. You keep telling me that I am off on this, but this is another year where the Yankees offense has failed them in the playoffs.
Okay. Also, their starting pitcher didn't get out of the 3rd inning.
Fine. But they scored 1 run.
Yes, I know that, but their starting pitcher doesn't get out of the 3rd inning, so you're asking your bullpen to get 7 innings of work, which it's just not possible.
I'm expecting life out of the offense, a little bit of life.
They tried to give some life. Stanton hit a missile off the wall, and Phil Nevin sends Aaron Judge. I don't know what he's doing. If he sends him from the beginning, maybe he's just sliding safe, or you hold him up. And I know Joey Gallo's up next, which he's been awful. He probably shouldn't be batting cleanup in the first place.
Out. There's going to be 2 outs with a runner
but at
on
least
third
it's second and third. At least in second and third with 2 outs instead of just running out of the inning. So once that happened, effectively the team gave up, and we've seen this team crumble and give up before, time after time after time this season. That's what they do. They're quitters. They're a team full of quitters with a couple of players on there that aren't quitters. But the couple of players aren't enough. Judge isn't enough. Stanton, who I actually think won a lot more people over this season than he had in his side before. Gardner always had people on his side. These people, they're not enough to
I will not tolerate
the rest of the quitters up.
I will not tolerate Brett Gardner slander for as long as he's on this roster. I don't give a fuck if he's on this roster next year.
I wasn't slandering him.
No, I'm just saying in general, I'm not going to tolerate it because when I'm looking up and down the lineup and what is wrong with this team, Brett Gardner's never part of that conversation. He's fine. He's fine. And if he's on the team next year, he's fine.
He's fine. He's probably going to be playing a role that he shouldn't be playing next year, but that's because the roster has flaws elsewhere.
That's because the rest of the team was ill-constructed.
Of course. Brett Gardner
ill-constructed.
Brett Gardner started probably 130 games this year. He should have been starting 25. But you're right. I mean, the offense was nowhere to be seen, and the offense disappeared. The offense finished near the bottom of the league. Near the bottom of the league this year.
They finished where they were.
The offense is terrible. The coaching was terrible.
We are who they thought they were.
The pitching tonight was terrible. 7 walks by the pitching staff. 7 walks.
Brutal.
Brutal. All the way around. All the way around. It's
7 walks.
Yeah.
In a game where how many pitchers threw? Five pitchers? 4 pitchers? 5 pitchers. 7 walks.
In 8 innings. They didn't have to pitch a 9th inning. In 8 innings, they walked 7 batters.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
It's a completely fitting way to end this season. I thought the Yankees were going to win because I thought that Cole would be good enough and that their bullpen would outpitch the Red Sox bullpen. Again, I'm sorry because I forgot this is the 2021 Yankees and they're losers. The Red Sox are not a good team, but they're not losers. Their manager's not a loser, even though he, like you said, almost tried to lose the game pulling Eovaldi. I would have just pitched around Stanton. He would have blown Gallo away and blown Glaber away. Like Cora was getting too cute there, but
I would have thrown to Stanton. I would have thrown to Stanton. It's not a bad matchup.
But Stanton did hit a ball off the wall.
Fine, it's still not a bad matchup. Yeah, he got you one time. It's not a bad matchup. It was a ridiculous pull.
It was a ridiculous
but it worked.
pull.
It's fine.
It worked out for them, and it works out for them even when
it should have burned him. It should have made Cora look really dumb. The Yankees had an opportunity to make Cora look very fucking stupid, and they should have done it. They absolutely should have done it. The writing was on the wall. He was getting cute.
Even when they do stupid things, it worked out for him. Like when their third base coach hesitated on a guy running home, they scored no problem. The Yankees can score. Listen, we're gonna spend probably the next couple weeks talking about what we think this team should do. I don't want to do that now, but I'm legitimately.
You have to do it now. We have to do it now. We have to do it now. This team needs an absolute culture change.
Yes, we know. We've said this a million times. We've been talking about this since June.
It's validated. It's done. It's come to a head. It's come to a head, though. Andrew, it's come to a head. When you exit in a one-game wild card playoff with an absolute dud after you give up the home field, after you do all the things wrong to get into this game, and you have your number one pitcher you've given $300+ million, and he lays an egg. You've failed. You've done it. It's come to a head.
They failed.
You get rid of. You get.
Let me ask you a question.
Solve problems here.
Say they won tonight. What was going to happen against Tampa? They were going to get their
ass kicked.
Right. So how is tonight changing anything really? Whether their season ended tonight or their season ended next Monday, it really doesn't change.
It just
anything.
provides more public clarity. That's all it does. Don't get me wrong here. It does nothing in my eyes. This has been something that, I've been on this train. Like, the guy is not good, but what this does is provide public clarity, and the New York Yankees need that sometimes. The New York Yankees need the public on their side in the moves that they do. They don't like to be controversial these days. This is not the style of what they do.
I mean, had a heart attack.
You could say staying with that is controversial, and that's part of it. But they have at this point, every public opinion right now should be on the side of making a change. This would not be a bad thing for them to do publicly.
So I just had a heart attack because some jackass retweeted Brian Hoke's tweet from July 1st when Hal Steinbrenner quoted that Aaron Boone and the Yankees coaches are absolutely the right people to lead this team. And I thought that was like a direct quote from him tonight, and I was going to freak the fuck out. Do you want to talk about some more game stuff?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about more game stuff.
I mean, I even though Stanton did hit a home run tonight and he hit 2 balls off the wall, I thought him not running out of the box in the first inning set the tone.
It's a bad tone to set. It's a tall wall. The monster is high. It wasn't
almost gone. It hit off like the lower third of the wall. That is a fly ball out at Yankee Stadium.
Okay, that's not true. He hit the piss out of that ball. That ball is out of the stadium. There's no doubt about it. It's a home run. It's a home run in every stadium in Major League Baseball.
Did you see where the ball landed?
Oh, the first one. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yes,
my bad.
The second one was an absolute rocket.
Yes.
The first one was a fly ball to left field that scraped the wall.
Yes, my bad. You're right. The first one was misjudged. No doubt about it. I don't know if a gale wind came in and swooped that ball down and knocked it out. I don't know. I don't know if he saw the same camera angles that we saw, but yes, off the bat, I think everybody and their brother thought that thing was gone, including Giancarlo Stanton. Not gone. Not close. The second one, piss missile out of the stadium, should have been gone. Run. Just run. Just run.
Why doesn't this team run?
It's a one-game playoff. Run. Just run. At any point. I don't care if you hit it out of the stadium. Run. Just do that.
I mean, obviously Stanton hit the ball hard. It was hit 94.8 mile an hour off the bat. Okay.
I feel bad yelling at Stanton right now, but
I know.
It's the culmination of what happened.
My point, the expecting batting average on that ball was 250.
I don't care.
It's a fly ball.
I don't care what the nerds say about that goddamn baseball.
No, my point is that that's not a ball that you should be dogging it out of the box on. You need to be running on. And that sets a tone. And then Cole, in the bottom of the first inning, goes to a changeup. Everyone's complaining, why is he going to a changeup? He's going to a changeup because he doesn't have a fastball right now.
He's got no command.
He could not locate his fastball. Look at the spray. I put a spray chart here. He's got fastballs all over the friggin' place. He could not locate his fastball. Yes, it was 99 miles an hour, but he couldn't locate it for shit. So he tried to go to a changeup for Bogarts. It was middle, and he hit it to the moon. That's the game.
This is exactly what we talked. This is exactly what we talked about in the last episode. If Stanton doesn't have control, he's a shell of himself. Like any pitcher in the major leagues, if you don't have your control, if you can't control and you can't dictate the things that you're going to do as a pitcher on the mound with the ball, then you're in trouble. And when everybody knows what you do and you're not doing that thing, you're in trouble. He was in trouble. They were looking for things. They were looking for particular things, and they took advantage of it because he could not throw the goddamn ball over the plate. He couldn't dictate. He could not control those at-bats from the beginning.
What are we going to... I mean, it's going to be the...
Andrew, if he's not healthy...
They're going to say he's not healthy. Even if he's healthy, they're going to say he's not healthy.
Strike that. If he's healthy, if he is healthy right now, we have a problem. If it actually is the grip, I sent out like a quasi joke tweet about give me Garrett Cole with that inning of spider tack getting through the clean inning and getting kicked out of the game over what he did. Like give me that, because at least that would have been trying. At least that would have been understanding a situation, knowing where you are in the world, and doing something to at least get you through that inning. And that was not something that... But if Garrett Cole cannot pitch in the major leagues without a substance that gives him the ability to get more control, we have a long problem on our hands.
Well, so the Yankees paid Garrett Cole a ton of money to be the dominant ace that he was at the end in his days in Houston. And he was that for the first 2 months of this season. Absolutely. From July 1st on, he had a 3.95 ERA. It's not dog shit, but it's not what you're paying him for.
It's Luis Cessa is what it is.
It's average. Okay.
I'm not joking. Luis Cessa comes in and throws a 4 ERA as a starting pitcher. That's what he does. That's him. That's his MO. So Garrett Cole is not that guy.
Huge problem and we talk about, July 1st to the end of the season is not a small sample size. He was a 4 ERA pitcher. So you're saying if he's healthy or not healthy, like we have a problem. Yeah. Or
no, I'm saying if he's healthy, we have a problem.
I know.
He's not healthy.
If he's healthy, fine. You're saying he's not healthy. I agree.
I'm hoping he's not healthy. I'm hoping he's not healthy.
I know he's not.
That man is not at 100%.
He's at a 6 ERA. He's at a 6 ERA since the last 5 starts. He's not that bad. No one's saying he's that bad. But he could just be healthy and going through a bad stretch on a pitcher that is at a 4 ERA since July 1st because he can't use the sticky stuff anymore. What if it's that? That's the biggest problem.
That's bad too. That's terrible.
That's the bigger problem. Then he's good, but he just had a bad month. That I can get over.
No.
That pitchers can
by
get
good,
over.
You're saying 4 ERA. That's not good. If he's a 6 ERA and at his...
He's not a 6 ERA.
At his worst, where a 4 ERA or a 3.8 ERA is his best, still a problem. That's Jordan Montgomery at his peak.
So
that's
I
use
think
names here, and it makes it very different.
Yeah, I think it was a horrible night for the offense, obviously, but I think longer term on the Yankees, like this is bad. This is bad going into next season for Garrett Cole. He did not have a good second half to this season. He had moments. He had the Houston game. He had the Anaheim game, but largely the second half of the season was terrible for Garrett Cole.
Nathan Eovaldi just shut us down. Nathan Eovaldi, the guy that was on our team, that was, someone that everybody disrespected. The Yankees did not take advantage of. He goes to the Red Sox, shuts us down in a 1-game playoff.
What do you think of the approach against Eovaldi?
That's what just happened. The guy that I've been talking about for years, everybody's giving me shit for years about Nathan Eovaldi. What does he do? Comes into this playoff, shuts the Yankees down again.
What did you think of the approach? The Yankees were obviously trying to jump on him early. He had 39 pitches through 3 innings.
Yeah.
And the approach was not to make him work. And I guess that turned out to be the right approach.
That's how they beat him the last time.
Well, it also especially turned out to be the right approach because it's not like I thought as he was cruising, I was like, oh, great, he's going to go 8 innings. They're going to let him throw 120 pitches. That wasn't going to be the case. So the approach ended up being the correct one. Try and just hit him because he's only going to let him go 70 pitches anyway.
I have no problem with the approach. The approach was fine. You jump on Nathan Eovaldi. You swing at the pitches where you find your opportunities. You don't wait for those opportunities. That's fine. I have no problem with the approach. It was what I expected they were going to do, and they just didn't execute at the end of the day. And Eovaldi was better. He was better.
And after Holmes, who tried to keep the Yankees in the game, the rest of the bullpen was not good, especially with the walks. Severino and then Loaizaga lost it. And I'm not blaming Loaizaga. He's coming back from injury, and he was their best reliever all season. And then Chad Green. I've completely lost faith in Chad Green.
Yeah, again, he wasn't good. If you can't score runs, though, it doesn't matter what happens on the pitching side.
Yeah.
And I know the pitching did not do well today. I get it. I understand that. It was bad. It was not good. It was terrible.
Very bad.
But the offense still didn't do shit.
Oh, yeah. It was bad. They're a bad team. They're a bad team that needs major changes. Do you think the Yankees gave the Red Sox bulletin board material by picking them had there been a 4-way tie?
By doing what?
So we didn't mention this on the last episode, but Jeff Passan reported
because they announced the picks.
But it was weird because not everyone's pick was announced. Everyone has to make their designations, and the Red Sox and the Blue Jays got to pick before the Yankees. So they each had the choice: do you want to be home or do you want to pick your opponent? And they each chose, we want to be home. Then the Yankees had the next pick. They got to decide who they want to go and play, and they chose the Red Sox instead of saying we want to go to the Blue Jays. And that's also probably because they didn't just swept the Red Sox. The Red Sox aren't as good as the Blue Jays, in my opinion. I think the Blue Jays give the Yankees a tougher game, even though the Red Sox just kicked your ass. And then they didn't want to go to Toronto. They didn't want to go to Canada. It was the right decision. You sucked today.
Yeah, but
see, the thing is, not everyone picks. Not everyone knows. Seattle. We don't know. Well, Seattle, I guess, was just left with the Blue Jays.
When do they find out the results of those picks?
So actually, the Yankees were the only team that had to pick. That's why it got reported. I just figured this out. The Red Sox picked, I want to be home. The Blue Jays picked, I want to be home. The Yankees then picked, I want to play the Red Sox. And then the Mariners are left with the Blue Jays.
Because they couldn't pick home or away. They had to pick a team.
Right. That's why I was wondering why other teams' picks didn't get reported. And that's why the Yankees were the X factor there. And that's why it got reported.
Yeah,
and then Alex
at that
Cora
point,
talked about it on the pregame.
They have no other opportunity.
That's the only option.
But you can still use that as bulletin board material.
I know.
You can use that however you want.
But so the Yankees, the Yankees got what they asked for, and they blah blah. It's
whatever.
like that's who I wanted to play. I wanted to play the Red Sox. I didn't want to play.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, you can use that all day long. It does. It comes down to execution about this team, and this team has been the exact same all year long.
Yeah. Oh, we got a quote. Aaron
Hold
Boone.
on, real quick. I thought I want to react to the lineup before you do this.
Okay.
When I saw the lineup out there, and I saw that they went Velasquez at short, Rizzo. You're making a motion like there's something a huge that just happened.
All-time stupid statement from Aaron.
Okay, all right. Let me get this out of my face first. The fact that Rizzo was leading off, Velasquez was in the game. They had Urshela at third. They had It felt
They
like
went with the defensive lineup. They went Velasquez at shortstop and Gio at third. I think
a beginning of the run lineup, right?
No,
They're going to muster some shit up.
Now, this is why they did that. I think Gio was a little bit banged up, and requires less range to be at third base than it does shortstop.
Velasquez at short fired me up a little bit. I'm not going to lie. When I saw it, Velasquez at short fired me up a little bit because a guy in a game like this, when I see a guy that wants to be there badly, for whatever reason, it gets me fired up as a fan. Whether it's the right baseball move or not, it still gets me fired up. I can't help that. It is what it is. I see a guy from the Bronx in there playing shortstop for the New York Yankees, fires me up. Good defensive player, good base runner, fires me up. Didn't work.
So Aaron Boone, Brian Hoke tweeted this, quote, "The league has closed the gap on us. We've got to get better in every aspect." The league has closed the gap on us?
What gap? They haven't been good.
Did I miss multiple championships that the Yankees won in recent years? Am I missing something here? Because I thought that the Yankees got bounced in the first round of the playoffs in 2020. They got bounced in the playoffs in the second round in 2019. They got bounced in the first round in 2018. So the way Aaron Boone is talking, though, they went back to back championships, and now the league is finally caught up. Like, what the fuck, dude? What are you talking about? Get out of here. Just get out of here.
All I know is that Aaron Boone I just bought 40 tickets to a May 11th Wednesday game against Toronto. That's what happened. That's what just happened. That's what happened today. Today, I bought 40 tickets to a May 11th game against Toronto on a Wednesday. That's what happened. That's what I get for committing to ALDS games. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron Boone. I appreciate it.
That game was up in the air anyway because it was home game 2.
Me
not
having
guaranteed.
faith. Me having faith and trying to be at a game.
Aaron Boone on the future of his employment. Obviously, my contract is up. I haven't had any conversations about that with anyone, so we'll see. I love being here. I love going to work with this group of players.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to be here either. Look, contract is up. Contract is up. That means
so it's not a firing. It's the same thing with Girardi. The Yankees didn't fire Joe Girardi. The Yankees have never fired a manager like in recent years. Joe Torre didn't get fired. His contract was up. They let contracts run out and then they move on. They don't fire anyone.
Fine.
The last manager to be fired was Buck Showalter.
Fine.
Actually, no. His contract was up too. Billy Martin's probably the last manager to be fired.
Stump Merrill. I don't know. There were definitely people. Dallas Green.
Yeah.
I'm just saying names you don't know about.
I know. I know Stump Merrill. I don't know Dallas Green.
We'll see. I mean, we're at a point now with Aaron Boone where his contract is up. It's out. It's gone. You could just let him walk. He could walk back to California for all we give a shit. Walk back to California, go back to your home, and stay there forever and do whatever you got to do. I don't care. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he'll be. And
we just sign a new manager.
Booth. He'll be back in the broadcast booth.
Fine. Just if Aaron Boone is back in the dugout for the New York Yankees,
it's a joke. 2022 is a joke.
That means that the New York Yankees gave him a new contract based off the body of work that he has displayed for the New York Yankees with the team that he was given, which was a hell of a team to be given. If I'm walking into a manager job and I'm given the same roster that he's given, I am damn happy. Damn happy.
I'm still, I can't get over the statement. The league closed the gap on us. Are they delusional? I mean,
if you close a gap, that means there's got to be a gap. You can't close a gap if there's no gap. That means you have to be either ahead or behind. And if they're closing the gap and they beat you, if they're beating you, that means they close the gap.
They have, even if they want to say we've been a great regular season team, which in 18 and 19 they weren't the best regular season team in the league because they didn't have home field advantage in either of those seasons. So there is no gap. What is going on with this organization? I don't get it. It's the same crap like they've been talking to us every year. They get bounced in the playoffs. How this team is so close. You haven't made the World Series. You're not that close. Close the gap on us. What gap are you talking about?
This is a wild card game. A wild card game. This is a play-in game. It's not a playoff game. It's a play-in game. It's a play-in game to get to the playoffs.
One of these beat writers say, what gap are you talking about? Your team has gotten worse year after year after year since you took over. 2017, you were a game away from the World Series and you weren't here. 2018, you got bounced in the ALDS. 2019, you got to Game 6 of the ALCS. 2020, if it weren't for the expanded playoffs, you're not in the playoffs. 2021, you don't deserve to be in the playoffs, and you got bounced in the wild card game. You got embarrassed. What fucking gap are you talking about, you absolute buffoon? I cannot believe that he might be the manager next year. I legitimately cannot believe it. And whatever they need to do to the roster needs so many changes. If they could make all the changes in the world to the roster, if Aaron Boone is still the manager next year, fuck 2022 as well.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's not qualified. Okay, that's clear as day. You can't dispute that. You cannot dispute it. You can't dispute it.
I'm losing. It became hard. So, I mean, I don't know if anyone, you know this, but I don't know if anyone like could tell. It became hard for me this year to like watch this team and root for this team. I was not rooting for them. They're just so unlikable. And it's because, like you said, things are clear as day and there's no accountability. They've got an idiot running the team who just seemingly is delusional. They don't discipline and try and coach things out of players that are detriments to the team. Things like with Gleyber Torres and Gary Sanchez and other players that I'm not even talking about actual baseball plays. I'm talking about just like hustle plays, mental mistakes. They don't coach them and they just keep happening. I'm sorry. I can watch a shitty, like an untalented baseball team and root for them. I did that in 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. I cared more about those teams, and they had no chance at winning the World Series. This team is far more talented than those teams, but they're poorly coached. They don't fix their mistakes. They make dumb mistakes. It's painful to watch them on a night-to-night basis. It's not fun. It's not fun. Every single season since the day 2017 ended, they've become less fun to watch. And until they make big changes, I'm not talking about signing one guy in free agency or changing a third base coach or doing one little stupid tiny move. Big changes to go in a new direction. You have to go in a new direction.
How do you go in a new direction at this point, though?
What do you mean? You fire the manager, you clean house in the coaching staff. I don't see how Gary Sanchez has a place on this team going forward. He's not the starting catcher anymore. Stop.
I mean, he wouldn't even. He didn't even pinch hit for Higgy.
He let Higgy hit one more time. Yeah. No. Higgy hit one time after Garrett Cole's out of the game when you needed runs. It's a joke.
I know. When you're looking at that situation in a vacuum, so you believe that Higgy gives you a better opportunity at this point than Gary Sanchez. That was the belief.
Offensively.
That's what he was saying. Defensively, it doesn't matter.
No, because at that point you needed runs.
Garrett Cole's out of the game. It doesn't matter. The defensive part of it is a preference. It's not even like overall defense. Fine, whatever. You're making that decision. If that's the case, then what are we doing? You made that choice. That choice said a lot about him as a manager, and he does nothing. He's not thinking about any intra-game decisions, any small decisions that are absolutely important to the outcome of a game, or could be.
No, he was waiting for there to be a runner on base so Gary Sanchez could hit a 2-run home run instead of a solo home run. That's what he was waiting for.
But the changes you're asking for here, you didn't mention anything about the GM. You're just talking about the lower.
No, I mean, they need to change.
How is that going to happen?
If Brian Cashman is not capable.
Brian Cashman has been an integral part of this team for a very long time.
Yeah, then maybe they need to change the GM.
Hold on, that is a big move. That to me is a drastic move for the New York Yankees. If the New York Yankees make that move, I expect a lot of dominoes to fall underneath him. But until they do that, Brian Cashman has to admit that Aaron Boone was the wrong decision, bad decision, should have gone with somebody different. That's the first thing he's got to do. And then he's got to bring in somebody to correct that. So it's either I eat shit and I say Aaron Boone was not the right guy to lead this team, or think the dominoes didn't fall with Aaron Boone on this team. However he says it, he's got to admit being incorrect about that decision, because that was the one that he was standing up for that decision. That was a Brian Cashman choice. And now he's got to bring in somebody who has experience, right? Because you can't go the same route. You can't just go a guy who's never managed in the big league before. You can't bring in a guy that's analytically driven, that's a new age type manager. You got to change things up, don't you? Don't you have to bring a different look to the team at that point? So that's a veteran manager. That's a guy that's been either done that before. There's some familiarity there. It's got to be a different look. So where do you go at that point?
I don't know.
Or you get rid of Brian Cashman, and that's a Steinbrenner move. And Steinbrenner has not proved that he is capable of making any such move since he's been in power. Not been there. Has not had the moxie. Has not had the balls to go out there and actually make a actual decision that will affect the direction of this team. He has not done that. It's been complacency this entire time. It's just been, we're going to ride it out. We're going to ride it out. We believe in our guys. We're here. We're dedicated. We're committed. We're company line this, company line that. He hasn't made a decision that affects this team in the way that it moves forward. This would be a first.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right that to make the biggest change, it would be removing Brian Cashman, because then that would take all the pieces out from under him. However, I think Brian Cashman is better at his job than Aaron Boone at his job. So I think that I think there's more likelihood of them moving on from Aaron Boone and making roster changes than there is.
But Brian Cashman chose Aaron Boone. He chose Aaron Boone. So you're saying that he's going to be able to choose the next guy. Why does that give anybody any confidence?
Yeah, and you have to trust that
he chose him.
Chooses the correct next guy. And that, I don't know that he can.
Whether you're talking about a baseball team or a podcasting operations team like mine, a unified workspace to communicate, collaborate, and track projects is key. That's where Monday.com WorkOS comes in. It's a customizable platform that gives teams the ability to create the work software they need and want for their organization. IT management, event planning and operations, CRM, marketing dashboards, and more. It works for anything, and teams from 5 to 5,000 can easily adopt, use, and scale with it. Here at Blue Wire, we have over 150 podcasts on our network. Back in May, we switched hosting platforms, which meant we had to transfer all of those shows plus their back catalogs to a new location. It was not as simple as just pressing a button. We had to coordinate with all the hosts, build transfer schedule, and make sure their shows were connected to the right distribution channels. My team tracked everything with Monday.com WorkOS. Seriously, the project would not have gone as smoothly as it did if we didn't have a central location to view schedules and status updates. It really was a lifesaver. Monday.com is how effective teams meet their goals. If you manage a team, visit monday.com/podcast for your free 2-week trial. Again, visit monday.com/podcast for your free 2-week trial.
No team can afford to overpay for talent. Build a championship team with Indeed the smart way by only paying for quality candidates that meet your must-have requirements. Get started right now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/BlueWire. When hiring gets hard, you need Indeed, the job site that makes hiring incredibly simple. Just attract, interview, and hire. In fact, with Indeed, you can do all of your hiring in one place, even interviewing. Get a $75 credit at Indeed.com/BlueWire. Indeed knows how important it is to make the most of your recruiting hours and dollars. With Indeed, You can save time and money by setting your must-have qualifications and only paying for the quality candidates that meet them. Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Offer valid through October 31st. Terms and conditions apply.
A unified workplace to communicate, collaborate, and track projects is key. That's where Monday.com Work OS comes in. It's a customizable platform that gives teams the ability to create the work software they need and want for their organization. My team of 7 tracks everything with Monday.com Work OS. Schedules, contracts, status updates, workflows, and team notes. The platform is a one-stop shop. Monday.com is how effective teams meet their goals. If you manage a team, visit Monday.com/podcast for your free 2-week trial.
We're going to have a long time to talk about these decisions. We're obviously going to get the State of the Union press conference that we always get at the end of every postseason run. It's probably happen. My guess would happen Thursday or Friday of this week. So we'll probably do a podcast after that. And then I'm hoping there's major changes. We'll have podcasts to talk about, but if not, we'll be on our regular schedule. I just think a overall terrible season of Yankees baseball. Not every season that ends in a loss is a terrible season, and obviously some are